Hi guys, so we are here in the isolation booth on the Raza with the wonderful Five herself, Jodelle Ferland. So how are you doing again?
I'm very good. I'm back on the Raza, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, it looks like I think we're happy as well because we weren't sure where you'd be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very glad that we're back for season 3. I know all of the fans are very happy too, but I would argue I might even be more excited than them.
Really? Well, I guess that means that you and Commander Truffaut managed to escape then, and it's good to see that you made it back to the Raza.
Yeah, that's the thing. We always like to leave our seasons on a huge cliffhanger, apparently. I'm sure season 3 will be the same. And nobody knew who survived, but obviously with Twitter and things, people knew that we didn't all die because we're back filming and they all know that. But you don't know how we survived, so there's that.
And you're filming the first episode of the season now, so how's it going so far?
Very good. It's a bit confusing. Sometimes in film we like to do things really backwards, so we thought just to make things extra confusing, we would film episode 1 and 4 at the same time, and then 2 and 3, and continue from there in who knows what order. So that's what's happening right now.
And we know that season 1 and 2 were essentially filmed together. So how was it to come back after the hiatus?
It was 1 and 2 were separate, actually.
Yeah, with a bit of a break.
Yeah,
and this was longer. So does it feel different coming back now for season 3?
Actually, it feels kind of the same. It's really nice because, you know, when you work on a movie, you make this family and then you might never really see them again, or at least not all at once. You know, you work with some of the same people again, but with Dark Matter, it's been really nice because for 3 years we've been working with the same people, and when you come back, especially by the 3rd season, it just feels like you're picking up right where you left off with all your friends.
And do we have any new sets, particularly this year? Because obviously everyone loves the Raza.
We tend to switch things up a little bit, but I've been doing a lot of work on the Raza so far, which I tried to say 2 sentences at once there, which is nice, and I like it because it feels like home.
Do you have a favorite place on the Raza?
I think Five's quarters is my favorite place, just because, you know, it's Five's home, and it's got all her little gadgets and things in there. I like it.
And I want to know, because obviously with all the crew in disarray at the moment, mainly because of Four, how is your relationship with Four this season?
Well, not so great because he's a traitor. So it's very complicated. Things are just getting crazier and crazier as this show goes on, and the characters are all over the place, and it's pretty insane. I mean, I like the direction that the show is going right now, but it's much different than season 1 when we were more of a family, and now it's kind of all over the place.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously Five's kind of used to being betrayed by now because obviously she had to forgive Six as well. Do you think that 5 and 6 are back to trusting each other?
I think they've come a long way from when he first betrayed them, like 4 did, and everybody has kind of come to an understanding of why he did it and been able to not entirely get over it. I wouldn't say it's totally in the past, you know, nobody's completely forgotten about it, but they understand why he did what he did and that he really does care about them and he wasn't trying to hurt them.
And we know with 6 and with 4 that they were helping to train 5 to become a bit more kick-ass. We're going to see a bit more of that this season?
Oh yeah, I just got done shooting some people, so there's a lot more of that.
Shooting some people with guns.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see that.
It's a lot of fun to film, but I'm very excited to see what it looks like.
I mean, it's kind of fun as well because you have such formidable fighters that are women as well as the men on the show. So if, like, the men had to take on the women in the Raza, who do you think was going to win that?
I mean, if we're going on past episodes, the women.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're usually the ones to save the day, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Android tends to take out everyone, right?
Yeah. Oh, I don't think any of us could win against the android when she's in full fighting mode.
Yeah. No. And in terms of your character, one of the things I love about her is the way that she's very scientific and quite nerdy. Is there any certain specific lines or anything from your character that you like?
Well, I feel like I don't understand half the things that Five says when she's talking about all of her techie things. It's fun to pretend that I do know what she's talking about, but I don't really. I just act like I do. But I love playing that character. I love pretending to be somebody who's really good with gadgets and such. But I think one of my favorite lines that Phi has said so far was "kill them all," because it was just it's the most badass thing she's ever said.
It's a little character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It came out of nowhere, and that's my favorite thing, when I get to do something totally out of character that you would never expect and that the audience would never expect.
Well, in terms of her character, she's Emily Coburn as well. Are we going to find out more about her this season?
You may. I don't want to give any spoilers.
What would you like to see for her?
I mean, I find her backstory very interesting, and I'd love to just find out a little bit more about her, you know? We don't know all that much about her life before the Raza. We've had a couple flashbacks, but I think there's a lot to be discovered there, and maybe you'll find out more.
Absolutely. So one final question before we leave you to go back to shooting guns. If you could use a transit, which I love, where would you go? What would you do?
See, that's a tricky one, because I'd love to just go to another planet, but I've got to have a plan, right? I can't just show up on another planet with the wrong atmosphere and everything, because I'd die. But let's say that it's the future and everything's all sorted out, and there's transfer transit pods everywhere, and I wouldn't die on the other side. I want to go to space, you know? Being on the Raza and being on this show is like, it's my fantasy in real life. I would love this to be real.
You'd actually just go to a space station.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would just pick a planet and go there.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Good luck with season 3. Can't wait to see what's in store for 5.
Thanks.
Thank you.